All right. Well, Storyteller has decided to cook on the grill. I got home late. Joy said, well, it's too late to go for a drive, but I'll compromise. You can do it live. So, I've been working all day. I've got my steak out here. Oh, I'll tell you. One of the reasons I'm doing this is because of chuck eye steak. I don't know. If you remember about 10 years ago, chuck eye steak was $4, $5, $6 a pound. But I don't know, maybe in the last 15 years, people have been cooking a lot of it and saying how good it is. It isn't like a regular steak, this big chunk of meat. It is veined, it has smaller parts. It looks like a roast. But my brother-in-law introduced it to me, and he said, you gotta have some chuck eye. And it was a little, it was like you had to carve the fat off, and it wasn't like as convenient as a New York or a sirloin or a porterhouse or a T-bone as far as all the meat's right there. But the chuck eye is awesome. Great. Well, hey, Jimmy Spencer, Smoky Mountain Man, SMM. Yep. So it was too late to go anywhere, and I'll tell you, I'm sure Jimmy knows this. Sometimes you just get absorbed. You get on a roll. You get on a what's that word? Momentum. When you get those guys out there paving, and the paving dump trucks are there, and the pave is flowing, and the machine is working, and nothing's breaking down, and you are making some time, and things are just flowing, it's hard to stop because it's rare. There's always something goes wrong. Always something, I shouldn't say always. There are times when things go wrong, so that when it goes wrong often enough, that when it doesn't go wrong, it's like, wow, we're getting stuff done. It's like that when I paint a house. It seems like all of a sudden I'll get over a little hump, and things really, the preparation's over, the paint's mixed, the sprayer's going. All of a sudden you start getting a whole lot done. I just love those days. Well, love those days when those things come together. And yesterday the owner and I put up kitchen cabinets, and earlier, the day before that, or the same day earlier, I had done the lower cabinets. They were messed up. They weren't attached. They weren't spaced correctly, and so I had to respace them and then reconnect them. And I spaced them wrong to begin with. I really spaced that, and but it turned out there was too much room for this and not enough room for that. So I had to readjust and organize these cabinets, the lower cabinets, and then screw them together and screw them to the wall and make sure they're level. And and then for some reason they didn't finish the floor up to the cabinets, so that kind of messed things up, so that when they had them all leveled and ready to go, and then I slipped floor. I'm like, I'm not going to try to trim a piece of floor around these cabinets. I'm going to just unscrew them, lift them up enough to slide the floor underneath there and drop them back down. Oh boy, that messed up everything. So I'll tell you, I've really enjoyed putting this cabin together. It's like a almost a favor for a friend kind of thing for the campground. I do get paid, and I get free, and I get my rent, deducted, and so it's really a good thing. But I don't know. There's just a joy. There's a joy of putting something together. They did tongue and groove on the walls and ceiling. A nice floor went in. Somebody tried to be nice and come in and put floor in one of the rooms, and they swore they knew what they were doing, but they didn't. And it's not that they had never done a floor before, but they just felt like, I could tell that they felt like getting the room done was more important than getting it done right. And people get in a hurry like that. They feel like pressure's on them. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. No, no, no. It's a cabin. Take your time. Do it right. So I was able to pull up the floor today and relay the floor, half the floor. First half was good. You know, part of it was good. Then all of a sudden, something went wrong, and so that was good. But it's just been fun to do all this work. I've enjoyed it. I mean, and of course, you know, I'm driving Joy, working with the channels. Our YouTube channels are growing, and chauffeuring for her, and having fun on the drive, and doing my voices, and then Tuesday night was a great painting. That was awesome last night. And you know, I'm still not the kind of, still don't have a painting like, wow, everybody wants to buy it. No, it's beautiful, it's pretty, but nobody's lining up for my paintings yet. It's going to take some more years, probably. And I used to think, oh yeah, I'll sell these. I'll take them to the flea market. Didn't sell one at the flea market. So that was a couple of years ago, though. Yeah, you just, it's just one of those things that unless somebody calls you, they're okay. You think about your wife and you say, oh, this is getting kind of late. Why hasn't what's she thinking? I hope she's busy. I hope she's doing something, because I feel like I'm getting away with this working late. And but she had called. I missed it. I don't know why it didn't ring or whatever, but so plumbing, they put the shower in, so I hooked up the plumbing. I got all the plumbing underneath the house, all the sewer plumbing done last week, and then this week I'm putting in the pressure plumbing, and there's new plumbing now. You don't have to do PVC pipe. They have this flex pipe and these rings that you clamp down on, and you can just pull the pipe, clamp, move on. You know, no glue, no mess, no muss, no fuss. And it's flexible. It goes this way and that way around stuff. You don't have to worry about joints. And so I was getting the plumbing in and getting all that hot and cold and everything. You know, the hot water heater's not hooked up yet, but at least I hooked the water to it. And finally got the bathroom going. Got the bathroom taken care of. I forgot to put the clamp on one of the hoses, because, you know, I put the hose together and I said, well, I'll clamp that when I'm getting ready to, you know, when everything's done, so that if anything goes wrong, I don't have to cut the pipe. I can just pull it apart and put it back together and clamp it. Well, I forgot. So when I turned the water onto the house, you know, I wish there was a better way than turning the water onto a house to test the water. There just isn't a better way than turning the water on. And boy, when you turn that water on, you find out you aren't so good at this. You are forgetting this spot and forgetting that spot, and this is dripping and that's running, and this popped completely off. But that was yesterday. That was Tuesday. That happened. I know actually most of that happened last week when we first tried the plumbing. So yesterday and today I hooked up the shower, got all that plumbing done, and then I decided that I needed to put up the barn door. And I have not put up a barn door before, but it's you know how it goes. You can figure things out pretty quickly. And I did not have the directions, so I started, you know, lining things up to put things together by what I could tell by the parts. You know, you have certain parts that, yeah, this goes here, this goes there. I can tell this is going to happen, go here. And so I got all that going. And then that was yesterday. And then at the end of the day, when I was cleaning up, hang on here. Oh no, it definitely does not fit that way. I was in a different part of the house putting in the sink plumbing for the following day, and there was the directions for the barn door. So it ended up I didn't really need them that bad. I had figured it out pretty much all, but boy, it was really, it isn't just what to do, it's what to do first. So I got that done. Today I put the barn door in. Well, before I could put the barn door in, the barn door has a guide that you put on the floor. Most sliding door closets have one of those little guides that the door slides through. Well, if you don't have the floor in, the guide can't be put in. So okay, I guess I got to put a few rows of floor in. So it's the laundry room. I'm really not supposed to do it. There was somebody else that said they'd come and do it. So I thought, well, I'll just put in 1 or 2 rows so that I can have the new floor in and get, hey, here's the husky. What are you doing? I don't know where you want to go. But you can't go that way. You're going to have to go that way. There you go. You happy now? Okay, so Husky decided to join us. So I put down 2 rows. It took a little while to put that floor down because part of it has to be attached to the floor, part of it has to be attached to the next board. You've got to get everything datted out level and cut, and you know. So when I got those 2 pieces in, I thought, well, 1 more piece. Okay, 1 more piece. So I ended up putting like 4 rows of floor down. Then I did the door. And it was fun installing that door because the first thing I noticed is that there was no wood up on the wall to hold the door. So I had to do a complete installation of wood between the joists and the studs for the door to be mounted to. Get that, so I had to mount the mounting. Then after mounting the mounting, then I was able to mount the stuff on the door. And then after I put the door up, I put a little shim on the floor so that the door would be about a 1/2 inch above the floor, and it would just sit on that piece of wood, 1/2 inch piece of wood, and it would be done. So, oh, that looks pretty much ready. So I put that on the floor, leaned the door up against the wall, and then took the big iron bar that the door rolls on and put it up over top of the door and up where the wheels go, and then put 2 screws in so that I could see exactly, you know, where it goes. And then when I got the 2 screws in, then hung the door on the railing, saw if the door was level, because you don't want the door to close on its own. You want it to sit pretty level. And then after I got that organized, then I got it hung. Then I put all the bolts in. That was not easy. Trying to hold the weight of the door and the metal and the screwdriver, but I got it. And then the door wouldn't open. So the distance, there's a distance between the wall and the door, and the distance was too close in one spot, so the door wouldn't open. So I had to loosen that up, and then I had to change my bracket, and then I had to change the stud so that it would move out, and then the door would hang right. And after I did that, I installed the little floor guide, and after that I was able to know exactly where the door was going to stop, because you have to put door stops in, otherwise it'll run right off the end of the rail. And then the fun part, I got to put the handle on, and putting the handle on is like, ooh, handles on, job done with this door. Beautiful, wonderful job, looks great. Can't wait for him to see it. And then I turned around and I saw there was only like 3.5 more boards to finish the floor in the pantry. So I thought, oh, what the heck? I went ahead and finished the floor in the pantry, and got all that put in, so that now when they're all done with everything, you know, there's a little gap around the edges. So I'll be putting in some 1x4 baseboard around the edges as soon as they're all done with everything, and that'll make everything look pretty smart and sharp. So that was the end of that. And then of course I walked out of that room, and that's probably when I should have called it a day. But my campground owner, he was not happy with the floor guy's job, and you know, he's kind of one of those guys that says, don't worry about it. But you know, he's a closet perfectionist. He is the nicest guy. He'll take whatever if anybody helps him, whatever they do is fine. He'll just do it over if they messed it up, and he won't say anything. He's just the nicest guy. And so he was kind of saying, don't worry about that floor. But honestly, the first half of the room that was done wrong was done good. The second half of the room is where there was some chips and some breaks and some cracks and they didn't tap it all the way down to the corner where it would be covered by the baseboard. So he was just like, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, I did. And so I went over, was this good? This is Chuck Eye. Oh, baby. Tender. Yeah, it does have those little lines in it you have to deal with. But does anybody notice how good Chuck Eye tastes? I'm telling you, Chuck Eye is just wonderful. My brother-in-law got me doing it, and but then I think the stores and the meat people kind of got a hang of the idea that, hey, we're not charging enough for this stuff. People are buying it like crazy. We're not charging enough. So you know how it is, supply and demand. So my I finished the floor. Now the closet was a mess too, but I wasn't able to get into the closet. That would be too much. I could have. It was like I just kept going. I was just having the greatest time. Everything came together. The door came together, the floor came together, the plumbing came together. The the cuts fit perfectly when I cut. When you cut wood, it's always like not right. Nope, it was right. The cuts came out right on the wood, and it was just a wonderful day. I enjoy helping everybody else, and I've enjoyed when we had guests for the weekend and taking care of everybody and giving them the best possible time that we could with and take as much wasted time out of the way. We took care of that. You go have fun. And so I love doing that. But boy, I love my job too. And honestly, I would like to get a fixer-upper house. I would love to, pay $250 for a $500,000 house and put $100,000 into it, and then and because now I'm telling you, I know everything that needs to be done, except something that has to be licensed, like electrical. Like you don't have to be an electrician to change a socket or to put up a ceiling fan. But if you have to put in that box, you run a line from the breaker up into the attic and put a box in the ceiling and then cut a hole because now you want a light up there, cut a hole and mount the box, that you do with a licensed electrician. If you want to take your toilet off the thing, I put toilets in all the time. You want to do something like that, you can do that. But if you're going to run a water pressure line to a new room in a house and run it through the floor and put it up there, you get a plumber. Now the main reason is that 2 years, 10 years down the road, something breaks, goes wrong, whatever, your insurance company is going to want to see the paperwork that showed you had a licensed contractor do that work. If you did it, if they can deny your claim. If Joe homeowner did the problem, they can deny the claim, and they can call it, I forget the term, but there's a term where unless you become and you do something called a licensed resident contractor, where you become the contractor of your own home and you buy liability insurance and all that kind of stuff. Unless you do that, you can actually, if you anything that needs to be licensed, you just do it. You just do it. Don't try to, especially electricity. Electricity does not like people. Electricity wants to ground people, and you just make sure you obey the laws of electricity so that you don't, you never be ground. You know, I am not ground is my statement when I get around electricity or people working stuff. I am not ground. And because I've had times where, you know, people turn off the wrong breaker and I get shocked, you know, or a big old spark will go off in my eyes because I've touched two wires that they said, oh yeah, it's off. It's not. So be careful. But anyway, so I'll tell you, for a contractor, for fun, for everybody today, thanks for coming in. Oh, I'm not done talking yet. I just, hi Steve. That as I don't know, just as a guy, when it's like surfing, you catch that wave. It's like driving. You get that open highway. Everything's perfect, and the road's perfect, and the weather's perfect, and the cruise control is set. And I'll tell you, I had an '86 Toronado, and an '86 Toronado has the years 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. They had electronic dashboards that just told you the number of your speed. And when you hit 85, it would just flash 85, 85, you know, dumb, slow down, stupid, you're going too fast. It would just flash 85. But you know, I'm young, I'm single, I'm in the military, I've got a fast car. I really enjoyed the highway, and you could get on the highway in Florida and not see anybody because they had so many new highways being built at the time I was down there in the early 90s that it was really quite nice. I would, so it would hit 85 and then start flashing. Well, I would still continue to accelerate. I have the sunroof open, and I was just enjoying, you know, the car was made to go this fast, and it was good. And I know, you know, a car would have been impounded. I could have been arrested or whatever. But you don't think about that when you're single and young. And so finally, you know, it was like, it was perfect. And I thought, I'm just going to hit the cruise control. And on the dashboard, underneath the flashing light of the 85, 85, 85, it said, cruise control set for 107. Oh, man. You know, you don't stick your hand out the window when you're doing 107, right? I mean, it wasn't like the windows are down. I had the moonroof open. That was it. But that was just a moment in life I won't forget. A moment I don't think I've ever been that fast ever again. You know, just that moment in life. And look, Jimmy Spencer, he's got a Chevelle. You know, he knows what it's like. I was in a Chevelle, and I was in a what was that called? A Challenger. A Challenger from the 70s with a Hemi in it. And when we came down from speed off of that, he went. Oh my goodness! His speedometer was past 160. And when we got back to the house, I couldn't move. I literally had to grab my legs as though I was getting ready to get in a wheelchair or something. I couldn't. And man, the guy that was driving, he was like old Steve. I pray for my buddy Steve Green. I hope to see him again one day. He was a friend when I needed a friend, and I was not very friendly. I was going through a hard time in life then, and I wasn't happy. But that was before I got saved. And so then after that, you know, things turned around. Got saved in the Coast Guard. Turned around, going another direction. I didn't hear anybody say, turn them. Turn the cold side to the middle. And turn the dark side to the outside. Good old chuck eye steak. Oh, good. Saw the hotel. Wonderful, Roy and Maria. We're on the skipper. Yeah, a bunch of people came in all of a sudden. Yes, we're having a chuck eye steak on the grill. I've got the green beans. Oh no, I don't know if I turned them on or not. Joy, go see if the green beans are on. And green beans, low carb, out of the freezer. Cook them slow. Don't overcook them. The low calorie, low carb, best vegetable. So now, for those of you that don't cook much steak, and this happened in the restaurant the other day, I knew when they brought the steak it wasn't right, because when you have a steak, you have to, if you touch it and it's real spongy, it's still raw in the middle, still raw in the middle. But if it's firm, you know it's medium well. And and this is a seasoning. There was a guy in town. This is called Mike's all-purpose seasoning, healthy recipe, and no MSG, gluten-free, and it only had the most important thing, 0 sodium. Mike's. And it wasn't in a store, it was at one of those all the people come and put up their tables kind of thing. So keep an eye out for Mike's. Now, there were some of his that had salt, but this one called Mike's all-purpose seasoning, he actually had it on crackers and different things to taste, and it was like, wow, so good, and without salt. It is hard to find a good seasoning without salt. And so anyway, I wanted to bring that out to recommend that for you. So that one is really raw. That one's getting done. Joys are getting done pretty good. Let me put mine over here, because I take mine off before I take hers off. And oh look, a lightning bug came to visit. Hello there, buddy. Yeah. So cool. Well, so we've been entertained. Lights in the dark. Get to enjoy some cooking. Yeah, the Samaritan's Purse. We totally recommend that. The steak's on fire. No, it's not. Yeah, I get distracted. That's why Joy said, just do your live stream right while you're cooking, because I will get off on a tangent. Yep. So it's been good. A good day. Got a lot of work done. Believe me, when the steak gets on fire, you'll see it fire up. Yep, good. The beans are on low, so it won't take long to finish them off. Yep. Wonderful. Wow. Well, don't forget to hit like. Let's see, I'm looking for that thing so I can hit my like button. I wish, you have that feeling like, wish I had something else to put on here. You know, I mean, even if it was like a frozen piece of chicken, something to put on here to let it, let the fire give it some smoke and some flavor. Wish I had that. There, got my like, hit my like button. Thank you, Roy and Maria. Thank you, Smoky Mountain Man, Smoky Mountain Blessed. Yeah, Roy and Maria. I don't know if it's kind of late for Jimmy to still be here, but thank you, Jimmy, for coming in when you did. And all right, that's gonna do it. Well, I appreciate you being here with me for this steak and dinner, and Husky stopping by to say hello. Got to get the plate out now. Oh, almost dropped my fork in the fire. Feels pretty good. Fourth man in the fire. Fourth man in the fire. Fourth man in the fire. And he's holding my hand. Don't let go of my hand. So that's been good. The YouTube channel is growing. We might actually be more monetized.
Done enough for me.
What?
That doesn't look done enough for me.
Oh, yeah. So I've got to check on hers real quick here. Yep, that's still pretty spongy. This one's good though. There's a certain level of done that is required. Oh yeah. Husky smells that steak. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. And check out last night when I did a new painting. I do one every Tuesday. Thank you for all of the new people that came in.
Just let it cook till it's done. Hey, Donnie's at 978 subscribers.
Wow.
978 is really close to 1K. So if you know anybody that would enjoy watching his channel, share him out.
Anybody that you know that always says, I love Bob Ross, tell them I know Don Ross. Oh, Don Ross. Oh, yeah. Artist, storyteller, Donnie Ross. Yeah, get me, that would be helpful. Don't let mosquitoes in. So, I am going to...
And if you're a TV watcher and you haven't hit subscribe, you can help him out and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
Yep.
The cat.
Oh, great job. Okay, now I gotta go. Okay, cat just got out. Love you much. We love you, but Jesus loves you more.